Welcome to session 3 of the period from 2014 to 2019, that is the last 5 years. We'll start off with a recap of the previous session. So what we discussed in the previous session was that after we were incorporated, we were kind of in a hurry to get started, a little bit of the Silicon Valley type DNA. And we also had a reasonably strong belief in our proposition, which got reinforced by visits to Mumbai and so on. To learn more, you can see the last session. So in this session, we will talk about how we decided to apply for an RIA license, that is a registered investment advisor with SEBI. So we were registered as a corporate and we needed, I think, 5 lakhs of capital, and we had to fill in a lot of paperwork. And finally, it took us 5 or 6 months, but in May of 2016, we got our license. Now, this fitted in very well with our plan of doing good selling, not taking commission from financial services providers, because as a registered investment advisor, we had a fiduciary responsibility to our customers, and they could pay us, but we couldn't take commissions from financial services providers. So we would be acting in the interests of our customers and not trying to push products on them. So we ended up taking some early decisions, which were not all that good. So I think our learning is that, like in the previous things that we learned on disruptive innovations, it was all about trying to be fast, quick, so sort of to follow that kind of approach. But in India, I think the approach of being much more slow and deliberate may be a better approach, and taking some time to get your early decisions right may be better. So let's see where we sort of went wrong. So the first thing that we did was, because we wanted to get a quick start, we felt that the process of finding the right technology person might take a little bit of time. So why don't we get started by trying to outsource our technology development? And Prakash did have some technical expertise, but he was really not a technical person. So the other thing was that in our founding team, we had all product people, and Anita had some data warehousing experience, but none of us was like a person who understood the new technologies really well. So I think in putting a founding team together these days, if you have a business person and a technology person, that can help you a lot. But I think we wasted 30 or 40 lakhs of our 1 crore of capital by going in for this technology outsourcing till we actually hired someone, not as a co-founder, but as an early employee. And that person put together a pretty good technology platform for us by doing some stuff himself, using some in-house people, doing some outsourcing. But you definitely need some in-house technology expertise, in my opinion, in today's day and age. And also the tools, etc., have become so much simpler that you can have much more control. So the idea to outsource technology was not a good one. Then we also decided to use MFU, which was a single window to the mutual fund company. So this was the mutual fund utility. So we felt that if we connect directly to MFU, then we need to only build 1 pipe instead of building 4 pipes to the 4 different registrars that mutual fund companies use. Now that would have been a really good decision, but for the fact that mutual fund utility had very difficult processes, like for a person, even though you may have used mutual funds for years, you had to separately apply for a common account number, then to try and get your debits to the mutual fund utility escrow account. You had to get something called PayEasy. So the whole process was very cumbersome. And this decision to go with MFU and not invest more in trying to make the processes more seamless and direct, and use APIs and things like that, came back to haunt us. Finally, we also decided that we wouldn't build an app because we thought, let's first get the website correct. But these days, a lot of the millennials and all, and a lot of people just use apps. We also decided not to do digital spending, and we decided to serve all kinds of segments for the customers, and especially so, reaching some of the customers digitally would have been hard. But had we focused on a segment where we could reach them digitally, maybe use digital marketing, got the technology right, not used MFU, then the story of Bharosa may have been very different. So another decision that we made was that because we decided to serve all kinds of people, including HNIs, we didn't come up with a simple product. Later on, we'll talk about a product called Wealthsimple. But had we done that, in hindsight, we could have not raised any money. The 1 crore that we had would probably have been sufficient, and we could have, got traction. But who's to say? So you make mistakes, you live and learn, but the story will continue in the next session. Thank you very much for listening.